Most late heavy tanks in War Thunder are found at the same battle rating. Different nations bring their final forms of the class here, vehicles that, one way or another, represent the ceiling of what heavies can do. And among them, one French machine stands out, the AMX-50 Surbaissé. Why? Because it breaks the usual heavy tank stereotype on pretty much every point. Watch this. When you think late heavy tank, you probably picture an armored fridge that casually eats shells frontally and doesn't lose sleep over it. The French tank, however, didn't get that memo. Technically, it has armor, but it has so many weak spots that almost everything goes through it, from almost any angle. Survivability doesn't help either. The crew is small, only 4 people, and the ammo is stored very high, in the turret rear. So if you're facing anything with a remotely serious gun, you really don't want to be the one offering free shots. Where the French tank unexpectedly pulls ahead is firepower. Instead of the classic heavy philosophy, I shoot rarely but it hurts, the AMX-50 brings a 120mm gun with a 6-second reload. And that reload doesn't depend on crew skill or condition, thank the autoloader for that. The ready rack holds 19 rounds, plus 1 already chambered, which is a comfortable load for a normal match. We don't recommend carrying more than that, because extra rounds sit in the hull and make the already sad survivability situation even worse. But the gun isn't without its own drawbacks. Your main rounds are solid shot, no explosive filler. Penetration is excellent, up to around 300mm, but the damage can be inconsistent. You'll often need a second shot, and sometimes even a third one. Sure, APHE would be nice, but if that's what you want, you'll have to switch to a different tank. The good news is that you do get HE, which deletes light and open-top vehicles beautifully. And with a 6-second reload, swapping shell types is actually fun instead of painful. Mobility is another area where the Surbaissé doesn't behave like a classic heavyweight. 850 horsepower for 58 tons lets it reach 51 kilometers an hour. Compared to other heavies, it's lively. But compared to everything else at the same BR, it's less impressive. And the reverse speed of 6 kilometers an hour is pure snail mode. Backing off after a shot won't always work. And tanking with your face, as we've already established, isn't this tank's strength. So in the end, the AMX-50 Surbaissé is a heavy tank mostly on paper, or rather by weight class. In character, it's a support vehicle with a powerful, fast-firing gun that demands careful positioning and disciplined play. It punishes enemy mistakes quickly, and it doesn't forgive yours either. Accept those rules, and the Surbaissé becomes one of the most unusual tanks in the game.